Hello and welcome to Big Brother Bitches. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the first podcast I've ever done in my life. Twitch streamer girl extraordinaire. And what better thing to do it for than my favorite show? We could get into that. But first, let's introduce our first guest ever. Bill Weatherby.
Yo, what's going on? How are you, Aaron?
I'm good and sweaty in NYC.
Join the club. Join the club. It has been so awful.
It's
I don't like it.
disgusting, and it's not like it's any different in any area, but we do live in the same area, so we know how it is.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Do you have AC
No.
at all?
I mean, both my roommates do, but I do
Okay.
not.
We have one unit in our living room, and then otherwise we don't. And also, we don't turn it on that much, so it's Fan City. I might have to get one though. I've been debating it.
You gotta take one for the team sometimes.
Yeah, it's just pain. But you know what? How are you besides the heat?
I'm great. I'm doing well. I'm just really into this season. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
You are a live feed extraordinaire. So, how much would you say you watch the live feeds?
I try to do a little bit every day, and like I don't like stay like glued to it because I have a job, so I need to
Right.
work. Um, but I also keep up on Twitter. I follow like way too many accounts that update everything on the feeds because there are people like that are 24/7
Oh,
like on these feeds.
I know.
It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
Well, the Big Brother fan base is pretty scary. Like,
They are very scary.
yeah, there's like the normals, and then and then like you have issues. No offense. Okay, if you're an
No,
issues
we
person.
don't want to offend Big Brother Twitter already.
Right. Now we're canceled by Big Brother Twitter, but you know how you
Right.
are. Andy Herron said it best. One day, you guys are going to destroy Big Brother. I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
He just posted that, and I always find it interesting because I'm kind of out of the loop. I'm not a Twitter gal, but I pop in every now and then, especially when there's an episode, and I'm like, that there's tea going on all the
There's a
time.
lot of tea happening. A lot of tea.
A lot of tea.
We'll get to that tea.
We'll get to it. I thought so. Just a little recap, just a little backstory. Bill and I went to college together, and we've always
Magna
been
College.
Big Brother bitches. We've always known that we are Big Brother. Well, this leads me into the first question of the day that I thought I'd put at the beginning. When were you introduced to Big Brother?
So your memory of it is a little shaky. I didn't get into Big Brother
Right.
until late.
That's what I was kind
So
of remember. That's why I asked, because I was like, something's wrong.
yeah, so I think I remember I watched part of 20
Oh.
and I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is this? Because I just knew like you and like maybe 5 or 6 other people were watching it, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like socializing in college. So it's like, why not?
Right.
And I didn't know what this was, so I like just didn't care about it. And then the first season I ever fully watched was Baby 21.
Cool. Okay.
And
Uh.
let me tell you,
Oh, so that's like
21, 21. That's
Holly, Mickey.
yeah. So as I was watching it, I was like, there has to be better than this, right? Like
Yeah.
they always hype this show up, and it has a dedicated fan base. Like, why is it this
This.
bad? Why is it this bad and this offensive?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that ended up me taking through most of the pandemic actually to watch every season.
Yes.
I have seen even BB1, like even when it wasn't like the Big Brother we know,
Yeah.
when it was like something else.
I need to go back to that. My mom has been watching that one and she said that I would find it interesting.
It is because that was when they did it like I think 5 days a week,
Oh my God.
and most of it wasn't even like competitions and stuff. Like they would just do stuff in the house. Like
Hmm.
that's like literally what it was just people living in a house.
Interesting. And then America voted. I know that.
Yeah, like there was never like HOHs, no vetoes. Just like
Just people.
America would nominate, America would evict.
Oh, they would nominate too. Okay, that's big. Yeah, that's gonna be like so weird to watch because I have been watching back a lot of old seasons, but just randomly. Um, but I went back as far as three. I tried two out a little bit, and like it was a little too dated for me to fully get into, but I know I can and I will because Doctor
Sure.
Will.
That's the origins of Dr. Will.
And now
And
he has a restraining order against Boogie.
I know. I literally read that. I read that article the other day. I was like, "You really did this because you didn't want to do the Amazing Race." Like,
That
I
is
was
so
like,
true.
I was like, "You really like started threatening this man because he didn't want to go with you on another reality show."
It's oh my God. Boogie has always been one of my least favorite house guests
I've
ever.
never, I've never been a fan of him.
No.
But yeah, so when I started watching back originally, the first season I watched was 14.
Oh, my favorite. That's my favorite one.
And that was when I was like, okay, I know that there can be good in this series.
Yes.
So that's when I went through the whole thing and I'm obsessed. And I'm
Good.
so excited for this season. This season is a mess in a good way.
Yay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great and it is great. Frenchie is just the problem, I would say. And it's so unfortunate because like the first episode, I'm reading through the Twitter because I am very easily swayed. So I'm just like seeing everybody go, I love Frenchie, love Frenchie, love Frenchie. I'm like, me too. Now I love Frenchie. And I didn't really know why, and it didn't feel correct, but I just was like, okay, yeah, he's great. Oh, how the turntables.
Yeah, like his interview his was so misleading. Like he
Yes.
was all about like he knows like what the Big Brother fans want. So
Mhm.
he's like, I'm gonna provide that. And then he didn't.
And then he provided the opposite. He was like, let me make a big alliance. Let me make an all girls alliance with also me. Like, what the hell is going on?
That defeats the purpose.
I know. And like, and then some. Like, that's just like the most recent in my mind. But he's really going against everything. I heard even that he named his kid after the casting director, Robin. Like he is such a
Oh,
huge fan of this show and I
oh.
don't understand. Like he must just be totally blowing it and like too nervous and
I mean, it was just that first HOH itis. Like a lot
yeah.
of people get that. I mean, like the biggest comparisons that people have been doing with Frenchie is Devin from season
Yes, that's
16.
exactly what I've
Like
been thinking too.
literally, like it's just that messy.
Yeah, the first HOH can be so, so good for you. And it was almost because like the first, and we're kind of jumping ahead because I said we'd do first impressions, but we could kind of just say that as we go along if we want to.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll sneak.
yeah, but so the first episode when he was HOH, I was so impressed and I was so Team Frenchie. And I'm like, wow, everybody's in the diary room going, I love Frenchie. And I trust him, and here's why. And like that could have been so good. He could have been set up to run the house, just like Cody last season was set up to run the house after the first HOH, and it happens a lot. And instead, though, because Cody, I've been watching his Twitch streams, he's like, one of the best things to do as the first HOH is be like, I don't know. This is so difficult. I have nothing to base it on. So I'm thinking it through. And Frenchie's like, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe until there's no other options.
That's literally it. And then in the early days of at least the feeds, he was making like three different slaughterhouses.
No.
So the slaughterhouse that we saw was like the final one,
Oh
but
my
he made like at least two or three different versions of the slaughterhouse, and then also within it, I can't remember if they showed on the episode. He wants to have like a central like core three that he wants to call the butchers.
Oh my God, he's really thought of this for so
So
long.
he said he's been thinking about this for years,
It's
like
also
before he ever
disgusting.
applied.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's a lot.
It's a little disturbing. I don't really want to think of that. The butchers. Ugh.
Yeah, I think the way he was phrasing, at least in the episode, he I think wants his core three to be himself, Brent, and Whitney,
Okay.
and then that's like the butchers, and like those three, like once the slaughterhouse makes it to final eight, like
Right,
those
that's
three will
happening.
start like running the house, and like
Yeah, that's totally
I
what
don't
I see for the house. Poor Derek F. thought they were ride or die, but now Whitney's come into the mix.
I don't understand it. I'm also like the fact that on day two he said, "I am not nominating women
Oh my God.
or people of color,"
Yeah. And then what
and
does
then
he do?
proceeds to nominate a woman of color and a man of color.
I was wondering if Alyssa was because I was just
Yeah,
watching
she's
it.
Latina.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what my roommate said. And I'm like, I'm not sure. But wow. Wow. Yeah, it was so cringe to watch. And especially like I watched I think a few episodes twice and like he's even said to Alyssa, "You're nowhere on my radar." Mm-mm. And to so
He's
many people. And at poor Kyland, I was so nervous that he was going to leave um the first week and he was so upset and I'm very glad it worked out for him.
I still don't even quite understand why Frenchie even wanted to target Derek X.
Oh yeah, because he made an alliance during his HOH. How dare he?
Yeah, no, that was part of it. He was like, I'm not letting anybody make any alliances on my HOH. I'm like, hello?
So then what HOH? Then when?
Yeah,
Never?
when can he play the game? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he did achieve his goal. He got a meathead out,
He did. And
and
poor guy, what was even his name?
Travis.
Travis. I was going to say Tyler, but I know it's not Tyler. Tyler
Oh, that's great.
Tyler really saved like the surfer dude curse cuz also jokes on everyone, Tyler was never surfed in his life. So
He didn't.
he was just a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Um, but the surfer dude curse, and Julie, I think, said it in the extended interview, maybe she said it in the live one. She's like, "Are you aware of that curse?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like I felt so bad for
My
him.
my favorite part of that exit interview with Travis was when Julie just like asked how he's feeling, and he just goes, "Oh yeah, well, I mean, I kind of expected it because you know, like the white dude with abs gets
I know.
targeted, and then it went over to Julie, and she was like, mm-hmm,
The
okay,
white dude with abs. I'm
no,
like, no, you mean the surfer dude. Like that is not the way to phrase that.
it's not how you do that. Like, ugh.
No.
Also, I think I might be able to confirm there's no battle back
Oh, that would be pretty good.
because Travis has been doing a lot of like post game interviews,
Hmm.
and I feel like they wouldn't do that if there was a battle back.
Yeah, if it, like I guess the only possibility is a jury battle back.
Oh yeah, they might do that.
Yeah. Cuz oh my god, imagine if you got out first and then you had to wait and wait and wait for a battle back like in
They've done it before.
confinement. When did they do it? Do you remember?
They've done it in. They've done it frequently. They've done it in I think 18. They did it I think in 19. No, not in
Wow.
19. Actually, no. Yeah, it was 19 because I think they did it both of the seasons that Paul was on.
Oh, right, cuz Victor came back and Victor went out
'Cause
before jury.
Victor went out pre-jury, and then or something. I think there was one on 19 because I remember like it was a big deal because then Cody got really mad about who came back.
Oh, Cody the Marine Cody.
Yeah, Marine Cody. Cody
Wow.
Neal.
Yeah, I have to revisit 19. I do remember him getting really mad.
I
He
can't remember. 19's a blur to me.
19 is a blur, and also like Cody, why were you on that show if you hated it so much? I don't know. He just seemed very unhappy to be there. Oh, and that is like a point I wanted to make. Okay.
Yes.
If
Say it.
Jessica starts listening to this podcast, I'm so sorry. But one of the things, like, I like Alyssa, I think. Like, I don't not like her. I don't like her.
Mhm.
I have some things that I have to say. But the one thing that puts a bad taste in my mouth is in her interview, she said she loves Jessica Graff. And I'm like, hmm. I think she loves her because she like speaks her mind, but she also was like mean.
I think I agree with all of that because I also am not a big fan of her. I'm not a fan of that season for multiple
Yes.
reasons, but I'm I'm like 70% sure. I'd have to like look, but since Big Brother Twitter is like on almost as high of a level as the FBI, they did investigating, and I think there was a point in time that Alyssa met Jessica.
Oh, I believe it.
So
Interesting.
it might have been that, and maybe they talked. Like, who
Yeah,
knows? But
that's true. Like maybe she was like, I'm gonna shout her out because we met and stuff.
I never. I don't know if I told you this.
I don't know.
Um, I have a slight personal connection to a current housemaid.
Oh, I know who it is, Claire.
Yeah, I
Because
went to high school with Claire.
oh my God. I don't know why I didn't ask you this, but it's perfect that we're talking about it now because that's so exciting. So,
Yeah,
how, like, were you guys the same year? Was she older?
she is. She was one grade above me.
My God.
Yeah, like literally, and in high school, like we went on a class trip to Spain. Like, we were
Oh,
on the same trip, and
whoa.
we haven't really talked a whole lot since like we went our separate ways to college, whatever. I had no idea that she was such a fan of Big Brother.
Wow.
Like no idea. And then I was at I was at the I was at the Yankees game when they announced that she was the replacement.
Wow.
And I was on Twitter and I was like, "Hello."
That is
I
so
I know you. That
crazy.
is so weird. And then now I feel like I'd have a leg up if I ever applied.
Yeah, be like, I know her. I went to high school. Well, and then your thing could be like, I don't want anyone to know that I went to high school with Claire from last season. I'm gonna
I
keep
know.
this
It's like
under wraps.
keep it a secret.
Oh God. Actually, that's a whole thing. But that is awesome that you know her. I can't imagine like first of all, I'm so happy for her and also so sad for the girl who got COVID but like didn't even
Yeah,
have COVID,
Christy.
Christy, and she got a negative result like a few days later and that
I know.
really
I hope
sucks.
they I hope they extend her invite to next season because
Yeah.
she looked really promising.
I know. Yeah, I'm sure they will and I really hope they do cuz she has alopecia too and I think it would just be great to see her on there and another like representation cuz no one has ever been there before who has that. I don't think.
Yeah.
But um what was I going to say? Claire knowing someone oh, the secrets. I
Secrets.
have an opinion about it. That
Okay.
like when people lie about their occupations, I'm like, just give yourself a little bit of a break because this is a silly thing to lie about. You have to keep this up for the entire summer. What the heck are you going to make up that you do on your day to day? You have nothing to talk about except your life. And Sarah Beth is the first one that comes to mind. You could say you're a forensic scientist.
I think I get that.
Okay.
I think at least for Sarah Beth because I've been paying the most attention to her when it comes to the lying about
Yeah.
the occupation. I think she just kind of wants to make herself not as high radar because if she says like I'm a forensic scientist, then people are like, oh, then she's smart.
Right. And I guess
And
forensic is like Dee, dee,
And not
dee.
saying and not saying that voice actors aren't smart. They very much are. But
Right.
but she like was able to find a job that people can sure like ask her questions about,
Hmm.
but that's not something that would spark interest. Like that's
Yeah.
something that's like okay, that's something that like okay, like that's a cool job. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
require like a lot of brain power.
Which,
Maybe it could provide a lot of brain power, but they don't know.
yeah, and they just figure that everybody on there is like kind of an actor type if they're on the show anyway, or like has some kind of actor in them, or performer. So it's not as like jarring. But I do wonder like if she has a lot to say about it, or if she has been a voice actor, or if it's a complete lie. Like
I don't know.
I don't know. My and also a big like lie that comes to mind is like what's her face from season 14, Danielle, when she was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm a nurse, but I don't want anyone to know I'm a nurse. So I'm going to say I'm a kindergarten teacher because they're idiots. Like, no. I
Well,
mean, she didn't say because they're idiots, but it's just kind of silly. And I wonder what she said about that. Maybe she was a pediatric nurse, so she was able to pull it off. But if somebody else was a teacher in there, they'd be like, huh?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would really. Did other people lie about their occupations?
Hmm.
Did Xavier?
I think he did.
Is he's a
A lawyer.
lawyer?
However, I do feel like for some
Okay.
reason he said that when they were all picking teams. But maybe not. I do know a few of them lied. I just can't really remember who, but I feel like on Twitter or on something, maybe Tommy Bracco's podcast, they said that they were lying about their occupations right off the bat, and they loved that. But I don't always love it because I'm like, too much stress. You're gonna have enough. Don't
I
come in
mean,
with more.
Derek lied about his profession and it got him the 500K.
Yes, because his is actually like it makes sense. He was literally
Yeah,
an investigator, but I think when you're a nurse, you could say you're a nurse.
that's true.
I don't know, like
Like it,
it's you yes, it's impressive, but so is being a kindergarten teacher because you have to be certified for K through 6 probably. So, I don't know.
probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, it can only get you so far. I mean, like imagine like what if like Sarah Beth makes it to final two and she stands up and she's like, my biggest move was telling you that I was
Oh
actually a
boy.
voice actor when I'm not. That was my biggest move. Give me that 750K.
No, no, no. No. Yeah, it's a cherry on top, but it's like totally not necessary in my opinion. But Derek is a whole nother story. That's like the prime example of when it's good, when you should do that. What did he say he
Yeah.
was?
Um, I can't. I
Yeah.
also try to block 16 out of them.
Parts of it are very obnoxious. I can't really watch it.
Yeah. Here's my question for
Okay.
you. Who, after there's 1 week is over, there are 15 left. R.I.P. Travis.
RP.
Who is your winner pick?
Oh, winner pick. Let me think. I need the cast in front of me. I mean, hmm. Let me look at them right now. I have like a few in my mind.
I
Um,
have three.
you have three. Okay. Let's see.
Like I am biased to Claire
You
for
have to
sure,
be. I mean, you know her.
and I do really think she'll do well.
Yeah, I really think she will too. I have a few people I think will do well.
My big two. While you're getting that up,
Yeah, please.
my big two are Aza and Tiffany.
Those were two that immediately came to mind for me.
Tiffany is playing the most incredible social game
I
I have
know.
seen in years. And this might be because I'm also like on the feeds as well, but she is so entertaining.
Yes.
She has navigated every single person
Hmm.
and like that's the and like because of that is the reason that she was one of those rogue votes for Alyssa.
Oh, right. Right. And she was trying to like get that situated because he was on her team, right? Travis?
Yeah, Travis was on her team. I mean, like her whole team voted for him anyway.
Right.
But um, I guess like I guess Tiffany was talking to Frenchie the night before eviction, so yeah, Wednesday, and he asked her to throw a vote on Alyssa because
Mm.
he had this plan.
Ay, ay, ay.
to-
What has he got up his
yeah,
sleeve this time?
his plan is that there was gonna be one rogue vote on Alyssa, and then he was gonna
Blame
somehow
it.
blame it on Derek X.
Ay, ay, ay. Get out of his face.
And then Big Derek put a vote on Alyssa,
Right.
and I don't know why.
I don't
They
either.
haven't, because what kind of stinks about the live show is that once the episode is over, they keep the feeds off until the West Coast sees the episode.
Oh, that does
So
stink.
that does stink. So then like we miss things,
Hmm.
and then like as soon as they came on, they like some people were talking about it, but like not really. Like Brent and Xavier were talking about it, and Brent actually was smart enough to deduce that Derek F threw it,
Okay.
but not sure why. So I hope
Yeah.
they explain that somewhere.
Yeah, I guess that's exciting because live feeders like they're spoiled for the episodes, but that at least that little 3 hours, you're like, ooh, what did I miss?
I know it's kind of something that I hope they fix. I mean, like,
Yeah,
because especially when something happens, like when a new HOH is crowned, like
that's
stuff
big
happens
news.
so quick.
They should just have you be able to go back because you could go back in the live feeds for the day, right?
Yeah, you can when they're on,
Yeah.
and then when they're not on, you're just gonna see the animals.
Oh, right. So, because they can't even like record. Well, they're still recording somehow. So, make it available. I don't know. Or make it
I don't
available
know.
after the West Coast. I don't know. I guess that's a little tricky.
I don't know. You still have to give
But
me your winner pick.
my winner pick, I like my immediate thoughts were Aza, Tiffany, and Kyland. Um, as like three that I think it's really hard for me to just pick a winner, but I think that those three are doing really well. I agree. Like I was going to say this about Tiffany too. I'm like nervous that I'm getting too excited, but every time she's on, at least from like me just watching the episodes, like the What the French segment cracked me the hell up and
That
I'm
was
like,
funny.
yeah, like she
I
has
thought
a
that was very
great
funny.
personality. Um and I wonder how she is at competitions. I don't remember how she did. But her social game is good. And she's also like really able to sway and strategize, it seems.
Well, yeah, well, yes, that, but I think she takes her skills of being a mom
Yeah, that too.
and knows how to like sympathize with a lot of these people.
Yeah. And these people are like looking for that kind of figure too. And like,
And it's so yeah, no, like it's so funny. Like I can't remember if there are more than these people, but like Tiffany, Frenchie, and Whitney are all parents.
yeah.
And Frenchie
Like, who
has
are you
not been
going to,
acting.
no.
Like he's
Who are
a
you going to
father of
go
three.
to of those three? Who is the most nurturing? Like, Tiffany, hands down. I don't know much about Whitney, honestly. We haven't seen much of her.
He's a team cat.
She's a team captain, big whoop. Oh, we haven't seen much of her. We haven't seen much of Brittany, I've noticed, who
Mm.
I have to say, because on my Twitch stream, I totally jumped the gun and was like, who is this girl and why is she writing in caps and whatever? But like, she's a sweetie and she has autism. And we all, like, that was one of the things like that people were tweeting was like,
Oh,
this is why you can't judge people based off of their interviews.
I know. So that's when like the fandom gets incredibly toxic
Right.
and it's messy. Brittany has popped up on my TikTok for you
Oh,
page.
yeah.
Like before she was put into sequester, like her videos would pop
Yes.
up, and like she just like she has like the same amount of energy like doing the TikTok dances. And I was like, no, go you. I don't know who you are, like, but
Yeah, what
go,
is she?
go
So
you.
she does the dances on TikTok because I figured maybe
Yeah,
she'd do her does she do karate? Something.
yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of like karate videos on her page. She does a lot of dancing.
I need to
Um,
look because I heard
but
that she was a TikTok girl. I think that I've seen Derek X on like Hinge or something. And it's hard to
really,
say, and it really might not be true because I'm so bad with Hinge and I just go on like sometimes. But like I have that, like the minute I saw him, I'm like, I have this vague memory. Especially his job. Like, I don't know, maybe he put that on his Hinge. Like, something about it seems so familiar. So I'd be interested to hear or maybe meet him or search through Hinge and see if it happened. But
yeah. Go all the way back in and make sure you match with
I
him.
know. I feel like if I did, he might have deleted it because I did do a little investigating, but I really want to get to the bottom of this because he was in New York City, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So I don't know.
One thing I'm worried about, and this kind of goes back to the secret stuff
Hmm.
of Big Derek's famous father,
Oh my God. I totally forgot. Like,
the son of what's his name, Joe Frazier,
maybe.
the boxer.
But yes, I know he's like a sports guy. Uh,
Yeah,
have they even mentioned that yet? Or like, has he even been like, oh no, my dad?
he mentioned it in his like
Yeah.
introduction video. Um, that's it.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Frazier is his name.
Interesting. I totally forgot about that. I wonder if that'll come out. I don't know. Does anybody else have secrets that were like, are they gonna come out? I don't know if Xavier lied. Um, oh, did Claire lie?
Did she?
Because she's an engineer.
Yeah, she's an AI engineer. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, when it comes to the occupations, I'd have to go back and listen to what they said because
Yeah.
they especially did this one like pretty quick.
Oh, the introductions, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh.
and when they were sitting at the table and
Oh,
introducing themselves, like
that was quick. Yeah.
the champagne.
Did they even do the champagne? Did they have champagne?
Yeah,
Oh, they did.
yeah.
Okay.
Christian popped it. It was like a big thing.
Oh,
But
okay. Um, I have been noticing that like me and my mom were saying we don't like how they're making it hip, meaning it
I
like better quality. Like the cameras look better, like the diary room looks better technically, but I'm like, am I watching Love Island or am I watching Big Brother? I want the homey feeling, and maybe because I've been watching so many old seasons that now I'm like,
that's
what's
probably
this?
that's probably it. And they try to adapt it with time. They want to make it as
Yeah.
up to date as possible.
It just looks too real. I'm like, I really feel like I'm sitting in the house because you're so HD.
But isn't that
I guess.
you you want to be watching?
Yeah, I guess. And the house does look really cool this year.
I do like the house this year. It's way better than last year's. It's kind of
Oh,
last year's was gross.
I don't even want to think about it. Like everything about last year is womp womp. I don't know.
Oh, wait, I during the HOH comp on Thursday,
Hmm.
I I got the same anxiety of Brent having the lead for a large majority of that competition that I was getting all last season when Cody was always in the lead.
Oh yeah, and when you just wanted someone else to win, you mean?
When I just wanted somebody else. Like
Yeah.
and it was so funny because it's only the second week and I'm like, I don't want you to win.
No, because
I
I'm
want
like
it to be
I'm bored
somebody
by
else.
that, and also you are Frenchie's right hand man. Apparently, like, does he not see through it? I guess yet.
Wasn't it great that we as an audience got to sympathize with Brent and as he talked about his struggles of always being stereotyped as a jock?
Oh my God, I
Because
wrote this
that
as one of my notes. Oh,
because wow, that I
I
really felt for him. I felt so bad for him that he always gets classified as this
yeah.
jock
And if
when he
people
has a
just
heart.
yeah, if they took the time to get to know me, you'd actually be pleasantly surprised.
He's still a jock.
He's still a jock. I was really laughing at that. But the conversation obviously got so much more deeper than that, so I didn't feel good.
Right.
Like, but those little moments of him being like, okay, he just met Frenchie, like it's day 2, and he's like, when I grow up, I want to be just like you, and I'm like, please stop.
Right. And in those DRs when he's just like, it's been so hard going through life, always being classified as this
Stop.
jock. I'm like, because you are. Like, it's not.
And I don't think that's that
Give it a
difficult.
break.
I think it
Just give
comes
me
with a lot
break.
of perks.
Yeah, but really,
Like you're on
it
this
gets
show
you.
probably because of that.
He fit that
The
jock
mold.
type that they're always looking for.
Which, speaking of, I mean, obviously, like this is all anyone's been saying, but this cast is so good. Like, it is
Love it.
insane how good they did at diversifying the cast.
I love them. I love this cast.
Yeah.
Like, so good.
It's just like a bunch of, I mean, we'll see when the claws come out, but they really do seem like good people and they're all big fans. And it's not like people who got recruited and are just like models. It's just like
No.
real people for people of the LGBT plus community. And is it 6 people or 7 people of color?
It probably has to. It's probably over 8 because
Yeah.
the rule is 50%.
That's awesome. And I just feel so happy for them and like the cookout. Like it's just great to see instead of just feeling like the outsider.
Yeah, the Cookout Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is going to run through
I know,
the game this
because
year.
they're all
Like,
so good.
they're all so good. When they had the conversation of like starting it, I just loved how casual
In the
Xavier was about it.
kitchen, I loved it.
Him walking out of the bathroom area, which there's a door there now by the
Oh,
bathroom. That was
oh,
never there.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, there's a door by the bathroom now,
Oh.
and like that was never there. It was always the one hallway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's like Xavier comes out of it, and Big Derek and Tiffany. Is Hannah there yet? No, Azza. And
Mhm.
Azza were talking about it. Xavier walks by, like just goes to the sink, and he just overhears it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, cookout,"
I
and just walked
loved
away.
it.
And I was like, that was perfect. I want that to go final 5.
Me too. That was like my favorite part of the episode. Exactly the same, like so nonchalant, like, oh yeah, got it.
So, and like they've never had like that, at least that I've seen, they haven't had like alliance meetings because they don't need to. I
Yeah.
feel like all these alliances always have like meetings, and like you don't need to have all of these meetings.
No, there's really not like
Take
you
that a
just
day-
kind of take
take
it
that a
day
day
to
at a
day.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't predict what's going to happen. And when you try to overplay, you end up like Frenchie, who has 57,000 alliances. So what happened to the other slaughterhouses? Are they just floating in midair? Do they
They're
exist?
kind of floating in midair because they consist of different people.
Yeah.
So, like the main 8 that we have seen is that group. I think it's 8. Yeah, it's half.
Yes.
And then I think there was a version of like without certain people, like maybe I think there might have been a version of it without Alyssa. There might have been a version with it without Kylan. I think there's a version without Kylan. So
Mm.
there's different versions of it with like them. The same people though that remain are always Big Derek.
I love how
French.
you refuse to say Big D.
I don't like that.
I know.
I'm gonna say Big
It
Derek.
is explicit.
And it just reminds me of
Talk about Big
of,
D,
uh,
Big D.
I was gonna say it reminds me of a certain musical that we were in a spot tower for.
Yeah.
So, I don't really want to go on that right now without singing that song. But yeah, like those were always like the consistent people in the slaughterhouse with just like 1 or 2 people like sprinkled back in, but like that
Okay.
8 is where it is right now, and I think once we talk about spoilers,
Which we could probably do.
we can talk.
Did
Spoilers.
we cover all of the things that really happened? I mean,
Talk
the-
about Travis?
we could talk
You
about
didn't even remember Travis's name.
right, Tyler, whatever I was gonna say about him. Poor guy.
Talk.
I mean, he
Let's talk about
does
Frank.
he lives in Hawaii, and so I think he'll be okay. No, and I think he has a good company, so that's
He's
good.
fine. He wrote
Um,
a book.
he wrote a book. He wrote a
He wrote a
book.
book. He wrote a book.
What
That's like
is
his
it?
like fun fact is like he wrote a book. I don't know what the book is.
Hmm.
It is on Amazon.
Now it'll be a bestseller.
It probably will be. We'll see what he's like as a writer. I don't know what kind of book it is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a motivational self help book.
Yeah, or like businessman extraordinaire, something. You can move to Hawaii too. But yeah, we talked about, and one of our questions will bring us back to Frenchie. But so on my Instagram story to get the podcast rolling, I said, "Do you have any questions, you Big Brother fans, you?" Because I got a lot of Big Brother bitches out there. And
Yeah,
so let's see what they had to say.
bring
And
it.
this
Let's do
is
it.
a lot of stuff that's like, what do we think strategically game wise, and what would we do, kind of thing. So
Sure.
the first question is lying to someone okay if it is for your benefit? Yeah. Um,
I'd say yeah.
yes, unless like it gets what okay, this is the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't know if you remember this at all, but I just watched the season with Haley and Bailey and like Fessy and that whole season. And when Haley won the hacker comp and it got blamed on Bailey and Haley felt so guilty and then she finally confessed, like it really wasn't the best move, but I
Oh,
totally understood how horrible she felt because it kept getting worse and worse, like how much Bailey was being blamed, and then she eventually just confessed. But if you
yeah.
are really in it for the game, then you can't do stuff like that, and that's really difficult. But um, that
I think
I would have a hard time with.
yeah. I think it would depend on the situation because you can hide a fact about a comp, but like the comp will come back
Hmm.
because say that there's a power like the hacker comps there are powers. So say you have a power and then whatever the power is, like the results are publicly shown, people can trace back to it easy.
Yeah.
So like that can be one thing, but if it's even just something as small as just accepting to be an alliance you don't want to be a part of, like the French kisses.
Right. And
Uh,
you're like, this is a lie,
yeah,
technically, but it's really not hurting anyone right now until it has to. And it's
right,
benefiting them because apparently they're safe with
right.
those people. So yeah, like those kind of I think for the most part it's okay. I'm trying to think of when it's not okay.
It's really trying just to if you know it's gonna get you in good graces with people, that's when I would most definitely do it. And even I feel like the if for me like personally because I'm not a very good liar,
Me neither.
so if it got to a point where like I needed to like make up something wild to save myself, I feel like it would just blow up in my face
Me
anyway.
too. Yeah, like I could maybe do lies that are like roundabout and like I could kind of still tell sort of the truth, but
I would just bend it. Like I would just take the truth
bend
and
it.
just bend it so that it cracks a little bit but not
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, I can like forget about it. If I was trying to just make up a scenario or make up a lie, it I would not be able to. I would be caught immediately. I would also I have like a guilt problem, so I always wonder if I would just start confessing stuff, which would be horrible, obviously.
I think that's kind of how they're trying to edit what happened with Derek X.
Right.
That maybe he just had loose lips
Yeah, I kind of
and
related with him in that moment of like I
I
might have,
guess
but at the same time, when I was watching it, I'm like, you're not the best socially. I like him,
no.
but I'm like, you got to be savvy with that a little bit more. And don't let Frenchie just be like, I know you have an alliance. How dare you during my HOH?
You know, real quick on Frenchie, they didn't show this because they only showed for Kylan's birthday. They only showed the Travis striptease,
Oh, right.
um, but they were obviously showing a lot of the other celebrations of Kylan's birthday.
Hmm.
And Frenchie, is mad that they were like celebrating a birthday
On his HOH.
because on his HOH. Like, how dare they?
No,
Like,
this
he was
is
like sitting. Like, yes, this is really. He was literally just like sitting there and just like obviously like sitting with the group, but he was not like interacting with everybody. He wasn't like.
oh my God, that is so annoying. And this reminds me of my mom's theory that is just not true, that he's an actor. Like, she's like, there's something off about him in the diary room. I think that he's an actor who doesn't remember his lines and he's a plant in there to make things crazy. And I'm like, no, I think he is a hardcore live feeder who's dreamed about this for so long and now is just kind of going crazy with the opportunity.
Yeah, he's not like an America's player kind of
No.
thing.
And she says she hopes he self evicts. And I'm like, that could happen.
It could. I think it could get to him because I don't know. I don't know
Yeah, when
with
he's on
him.
the block,
It's
he's going to be like, how dare you, after my HOH, put me on the block,
yeah,
I guess. Like, nothing's
yeah,
ever going to be good.
right.
I don't know. But on to the next, because
Okay,
again,
next quiz.
our last question has to do with that guy. Um, do the ends justify the means?
In general,
That's exactly what I said to
are we
myself.
gonna get philosophical with
I'm
this,
like, do you mean in life or
or
do you
in the game?
mean in the game? So I guess what he was saying was, oh, do we call out the people who asked? This is
If you
my
want,
friend Billy O'Brien, who is a
nice name.
Big Brother fan. I know, right? Right? So do the ends justify the means? I feel strongly. I don't know if this is really answering the question, but um, June and Danielle are two of my favorite players. I think,
June is one of the most
oh my
underrated
God.
winners of this game.
Oh my God, I know. And okay, I wasn't obviously a live feeder when I was 2. Oh, I didn't even say how I was introduced to Big Brother. Okay, we'll go back to it. But so I think apparently they did say some nasty things. Like she was not afraid to say some nasty things. But
Right.
the holier than thou attitude that some of the house guests have who didn't make it to final 2, they're like, I would never. Meanwhile, they did things that were like, or said things that were just as bad, and then acting like they were the devil. When they just did what they had to do and were really smart about it, and I feel like it's a jealousy thing. Like Danielle saying that, this is really just going into it, saying that Roddy was the devil. I'm like,
Mm.
she said it in a way that was like, he's so charming. Like she wasn't saying you are the devil scum of the earth, and he's like, I just can't respect someone who does that. Give me a break.
There is,
Go ahead, yeah.
yeah, a nice like prime example of that as well. Like at least in a modern Big Brother, is once again Paul.
Right. Are you a Paul Stan?
Do not like Paul.
Okay.
I do not like Paul. I do not like Paul, the Big Brother player. That said, I think Paul should have won 18.
Which was his against Nicole or against Josh?
That was Nicole.
Yeah.
Josh was nice.
Do you think Josh should
I
have won?
I mean, I didn't. I'm not really a fan of either of them.
Yeah.
I I feel like that jury was kind of voting on a lesser of two evils.
Yeah, they were.
Because I think Paul the second time played with a lot more of bullying tactics.
Yeah, that's what I've like heard.
And things like that. And I think some of those existed in 18 as well.
Yeah.
But as far as like the game goes, I think Paul played better on 18, and I think they should have won then. But
Because he was like the underdog with Victor for a long time
yeah.
and then like made his way to the top. Yeah, I was like shocked when he didn't win that season. I think I was a pretty big Paul fan both seasons at the time because I didn't really like he was annoying me at points. I'm like, please calm down, sir. But I didn't know really the logistics of it. But then I remember, I think it must have been his second season. I kind of watched the live feeds and people were saying that he did a lot of bullying that we didn't see. Like, I think he was edited to be a bit better than he was.
Yeah, I mean they edited Paul to be just kind of this BB god, and
Right.
that was kind of I mean, one of several, because I mean, really, since 16, there have been a lot of uses of the Super Alliance, and
Mm-hmm.
but Paul's in 19 was pretty bad. Like I wouldn't even say it's borderline bullying. It was bullying,
Oh yeah.
but and that just sticks to ends justify the means. Because
Mm.
I'm also not a Marine Cody fan from
No.
19, but the fact that he was like the final knife for Paul, as he cast the deciding vote for
Oh my
Josh.
gosh.
Sometimes if I ever want to feel a little bit of serotonin, I just watch Paul lose
I
twice.
know. Wait, I
Um,
gotta do it again. Somebody was just saying that in the same shirt. Why
yeah,
would you wear
if you
that unlucky shirt?
it's an unlucky shirt, and yeah, if I were Paul, I would never wear that shirt again.
No. Yeah, it's interesting. Like he is one of the people that people usually say like he didn't really deserve to win based on a lot of other things. Like he did play a great game, but blah blah blah. And then I think of like I don't know, I think of Tyler who I just watched, and I think of even going back to Dr. Will, he was like praised for being kind of an ass, and then Danielle was being, I guess, a similar villain kind of way, and then was not accepted for it. And she says something in one of the seasons, in an interview with Julie, that when a woman is the villain, it is very hard for her to win or to get respect.
Yeah. With Dr. Will, I mean, his whole strategy was to be an ass.
Yeah.
And like he openly accepted that, and yeah, and like that happened with it happened with Danielle. I think that also that was with Danielle's season. That was also like when the jury could watch the feeds in the
Yeah.
episodes.
Oh, right, right.
So that was also a big part of it as well. And it was because of that they started sequestering the jury.
Yes.
Um, but what was the other
I do have
example I
good
just thought
things to
of?
say about Lisa, but I'll say it another time because
All right.
I liked that season.
Oh, I did too. That was a good season.
Hmm.
The like recent like what you're saying about Danielle with the villain, as if a woman is the villain,
Hmm.
a good one's Vanessa from
Yeah,
17.
I was thinking
Because
that.
thinking back on that season, it's been a while since I've watched it. It's honestly one of my favorites.
I just watched it actually.
I really like that season. I think it
Yeah,
was one of the better ones in recent years.
yeah,
And I do like Steve as a winner, and
me too.
Steve made the good decision to evict Vanessa.
Yeah.
But I always find something interesting when Vanessa evicted Austin,
Hmm.
when Austin went out in his bare feet.
Yep.
Um, as he was leaving, he like said to Vanessa, like, "You're not gonna win."
Whoa.
And I was like, "That's kind of rude." Like,
Yeah, I mean, he was. I don't really like
it was a
Austin.
successful backdoor,
Yeah.
and and like it's okay to be bitter about it. Like you lost, like that's understandable. But then like
Hmm.
thinking back on it, you can like, okay, that was a good move.
Right, and like he was clearly upset with Vanessa for like a lot of the game and probably willing to turn on her at points. So it's just like I don't know, you got to accept it, especially at Final Four. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and she was great. I also remember like loving her in the beginning, and then she kind of was falling apart a little bit, but she still was able to use her emotions like to her advantage a lot of the time. So,
Yeah.
gotta give her props.
But yeah. To answer the question, I don't always think the ends justify the means. I
Yes.
feel like if you do it in a more level-headed manner with game, then it's okay. I think with a lot of people and it ends up like biting them, I think it's when people get a little personal.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah. And it also always depends on like the jury and how personal they're going to take things. And I don't know, there's so much that goes into it. A little segue that I'm gonna. Oh, okay, we're back. For some reason, my thing froze and I got really nervous, but I think we're fine. So as you were saying all of that, I'm like, yeah, but we're good, I think. I think,
Great.
yeah, we are. Okay, so The next one. Oh, I like this one. What kind of game do you think you'd play? Um, I have become a very big fan lately of the floater game, but the good
Mm.
floater game. And I don't know if I could necessarily pull it off, but looking back on Andy's season and Steve's seasons, I'm like, there is something to be said about being so on both sides of the house. Um, and I just making moves when you have to. And like if you look back at their seasons, you can really see the strategy that so many people overlook because they're just like, oh, you're a floater. But you have to really keep up this facade so you don't get caught. So I
Yeah.
think it's really impressive. And I would probably like to play something along those lines. I just don't know if me actually no. I think I'm pretty good at kind of being in the middle and not like the problem is not anyone's ride or die necessarily. I don't know if that would be a good
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I want to say that I would be in the middle, but I don't want to be a loser. Like I want to win competitions when I can and make impressive moves, but I don't want to play too hard. So I think being on the back burner and laying low for a little bit is really a good thing to do. Just up your
Right.
social game, lay low, and then when it gets to the end, do the impressive things and then present it that way.
I agree with that. I wouldn't say I would like fully adopt like the floater strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would definitely want to be on the back burner, not make a huge impression on that.
Mm-hmm.
I I would I would just want to spend the first like 1 to 4 weeks just socializing, get in the know with people, not the second you're in that house just like let's make 6 final 2s and a 9 person alliance and win 3 comps.
Ay,
Fudgy.
ay, ay.
And it, I would just want to know people because I think a lot of what it also comes down to is what you form with people. This doesn't
Mm-hmm.
happen as much in Big Brother because they ask a lot of like predetermined questions, but on Survivor,
Uh-huh.
there have been jury members that have even just said like, I feel like you, the finalists, like don't know me, so like I'm gonna just ask you like what is my last name,
Oh my gosh.
and in the past that actually has been like a make or break. So
Oh,
it's like it's like getting to know
yeah.
the people underneath the players.
Yeah, and it's
And then once like the first 4 weeks go by,
mhm.
that's when I would want to up up the game, try to maybe win a competition or two. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know what I
yeah,
would win.
I know, I don't know what I'd be good at either. Like maybe I like to think maybe puzzles because I'm used to like puzzles in Nancy Drew and stuff, or maybe even an endurance comp if I'm really in the zone. Like one where you're holding on to a wall because I'm like my balance is pretty good and I'm not a huge jock. Uh, but it's hard to say. I Another thing I did want to say though is that I besides Frenchie sometimes the first HOH, one thing I could think of is McCrae. I just watched that season. McCrae was so passive that him winning the first HOH actually brought a bunch of deals into his lap and kind of put him in a good place in the house. And that is actually like, I don't think I'd throw the first HOH because if I got it, I would just play it as like, oh my God, this is so tough. I don't know what to do. I'm really sorry. Please don't take any of this personally. And like, hopefully be in a situation where I'm not like target number one. And it could just be more so, oh, she's in power and we're used to this.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily like throw the first HOH. I would try to compete in it to maybe show whoever is going to win the first HOH like okay, like he can do pretty well in competitions, but he's like not gonna win.
Hmm.
Like I wouldn't want to like try to be this big comp beast for me. I'm not a
I don't think I'll
comp.
ever
But
be a compies.
like my one goal if I was ever on the show is if I was on the wall comp, I just don't want to be the first one out.
I know.
Like I would just want to hang on until like one person is gone. Then it'd be like, okay, I can drop whenever and just see how long I go.
Yeah, why do I think that I'd be good at the wall comp? I really have no idea, but I have strong legs. I don't know.
Well, it's really like you just said. I mean, you have good balance,
And balance.
and that's what a lot of it comes down to. I mean, with very few exceptions, not many of the jock types have won the wall comp. I
Yeah.
think maybe the only exception might be Mickey.
Oh, he won the wall comp. Wow.
He did win the wall comp because it was going to be him or Tommy.
Wow. And oh, yeah, I kind of remember that because I was like, Tommy's winning. Like, he's short
Yeah,
and he has good balance.
and Mickey made a deal with Tommy, and that's why
Oh.
he dropped. And I feel like maybe one other time.
Yeah.
I feel maybe
I just remember James winning the wall comp.
in which season there are a lot of
I
Jameses that have played.
James, Asian James, short.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember
right.
which of his seasons, but he was good
feel
at that
like
kind of
Victor-
thing.
Victor
Maybe.
won the wall comp.
Victor was great at comps.
And he had to evict him 3 times.
Oh my goodness. And now him and Nicole are pregnant and married.
And their baby's name is gonna be Arrow.
Arrow?
Like they're nicknaming him Arrow.
Wait, for what? Is that
'Cause-
an inside joke?
I don't know. Well, because Victor's last name is Arroyo,
Oh, right.
so maybe it's a play off of that.
Oh,
Maybe they
maybe.
really like the TV show Arrow.
Maybe that's how they bonded outside the house.
Who knows?
Oh,
I don't know.
Arrow. Yeah.
Arrow.
I don't really want to think about Nicole anymore. I've just had enough. Nothing against her, but I've just had enough.
No, yeah, me too. It's how I feel with most of the cast from last year, and like now that Memphis
Exactly.
and Christmas are gonna get married, I'm
Oh
like,
my God. I totally forgot about that. I'm not surprised, but I remember like last year watching that season and reading somewhere that Memphis had said if Christmas is in the house, like maybe something like before he even went in, and then she was, and then did nothing happen with them until outside or like little like I think they kissed.
because I'm pretty sure I don't know about Christmas, but Memphis was in a relationship,
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
and I
Naturally.
think that had to end.
Memphis. Memphis disturbs. No, I don't know. Something about Memphis.
I don't know.
Oh, he's like a
don't know.
womanizer, yeah. Oh, but then he got mad because Jerry called him that. That's why I called him a womanizer. And then he got mad.
I don't
Okay,
know.
sorry,
I mean,
Memphis.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. Last season was Big Brother Some Stars.
What was it?
It was not Big Brother All Stars last year. It was Big Brother Some Stars.
Some stars. I love it.
I'm not afraid to say that.
That's really true. Some of
Big
them.
Brother Twitter would agree with me.
Yes. Oh, I have been seeing a little bit of tea on that Janelle and Kevin.
Oh, I was freaking out on that. That was a lot with Janelle calling Kevin out.
I know.
Oof.
But also,
Ay.
he was really not good to watch. He knows that. That was not a pretty sight.
A rough season. What's
Yeah.
the next question?
The next question, Frenchie. Why is Frenchie a damn idiot? From Gina.
I feel like we have said that
We have.
a lot.
That's
and
really all
have
we've talked
answered that
about.
a lot. It's a great question because I still ask myself that.
Every time I
I'm gonna
see
ask
him do
myself
something
that.
new.
Even when he's out of the house, whenever, like whether that's 85 days from now, I hope not, or whenever. But
I actually, speaking of that, kind of wonder if Frenchie the damn idiot is going to last a little bit. Like, I don't think he's going out this week.
I don't
But,
know.
oh my gosh, we didn't even do spoilers.
We can talk spoilers.
Okay. And also,
So,
James from Wagner asked, which past season would you have wanted to be a part of? 14.
14, maybe 17.
So, Vanessa season? Yeah.
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 Vanessa and Steve season. Be fun.
That would be fun. Um,
10.
who?
10.
Oh,
King
10.
Aisling.
Oh, 10. Oh my God,
Like
10
Ben's first
was
season.
too messy for me though. I would have been not having.
I would have loved to be around that
I
energy.
actually would rather
Keisha's
not
birthday.
live with Jerry ever. Keisha's birthday. I know. I know.
That's another time I watch for serotonin is for Keisha's birthday. 'Cause it's just
Oh, wait, and living with Rennie? Oh, okay. I would love to live with Rennie.
Rennie, oh man.
Jerry, no,
Oh
Rennie,
man.
yes.
Oh
Libra!
man.
And she would, yeah. Oh my God. April, you're up next. I love her.
Happy birthday to you.
I have to watch that again. And poor Keisha, she went out first this past season. All some
The
stars.
the boot order for last year should not have been what it was. But
Yeah.
that is because of some pre-gaming.
Oh right, the pre-gaming scandals.
That's why I don't listen to that one podcast that came out or that one person's Twitch streams that you mentioned.
Oh, T. That's T.
That is T. I don't know how much I want to say about like how I really feel about some players.
I
in case they
understand that.
listen.
I understand that. We could discuss that off cam.
Yeah, off recording. Anyway, spoilers.
Spoilers. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Warning.
Okay, so yeah, spoiler warning. Also, this is the first that Aaron is hearing most of this.
Yes, so my blind
Because-
react.
Yeah, because I was seeing, I saw Space Jam 2 tonight, and then after I finished watching the movie, I checked Twitter, and it is a mess in a good way. Like it's like the Frenchie Funhouse is like rolling into week 2, but like in a different way.
That.
Wild card comp happened.
Uh-huh.
Sarah Beth won.
Ooh.
And the power, because I mean, Julie said it at the end of the episode, to get safety, you have to switch teams.
Okay.
And Sarah
Wait.
Beth, that was the twist. Like it's not like spinning the wheel every week. It's a different like risk or thing.
Oh, okay.
So you had to switch teams to get safety. Sarah Beth did not do it,
Oh.
but that is okay, because Sarah Beth and Kyland, like 3 days ago, started a ride or die.
Oh, cool.
And Sarah Beth knows everything. Sarah Beth knows about the slaughterhouse. Sarah Beth has informed Kyland of Girls Alliances.
Mm-hmm.
Kyland knows everything.
Ooh.
Sarah Beth knows everything. And I want to see that go very far.
Yeah.
And she won, and so she won the wild card, so like she didn't need to use it. Nominations also happened. And Kyland nominated Brittany and Frenchie.
Brittany. Oh, okay.
Brittany and Frenchie are sitting on the block to start.
Okay.
And that is interesting to me. I don't know why Brittany yet,
Is she just a pawn?
but I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I remember him saying on the feeds, I think last night, he was talking to, because he's part of such different groups, like, because he said to Whitney that the slaughterhouse is going to be safe.
Okay.
And then he told Tiffany that the cookout's going to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So remove the slaughterhouse, remove the cookout, keep Claire, because Claire's on the team. The only people you have left are Derek X and Brittany.
Yeah.
And I think he's not going to go after Derek X because Derek used the veto on him last week.
Right. I mean, it makes sense, this process of elimination that you're doing.
Right. So I guess what happened, I'll have to go back and look for sure. But I think right before nominations, it might have been when feeds were down before nominations, like this big blow up happened, and like everybody is mad at Frenchie now,
Oh, good.
as they should be.
Yeah.
Like I think all of Frenchie's BS is now out in
Oh,
the
good.
open,
Okay.
and I believe everybody is gonna start gunning for Frenchie now. So Frenchie and Brittany are on the block. I hope he does not win the veto. They're gonna play
Ugh,
veto tomorrow,
he probably will.
and
Let's just prepare.
I'm mentally preparing myself for it. I don't. They haven't picked the players yet.
It's gonna be like farmer comp.
Yeah,
Who can
watch it be
farm the
like you have
best?
to. Who can farm the best? Who can plant these crops? I don't know. But especially like if Kyland, it depends on who gets picked, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because like if Brent gets picked, like Brent would take Frenchie off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If Whitney is picked, like we'll do that. But I did read. I'd have to see the context again. But Frenchie said that if he wins the veto, he's not gonna use it.
Huh? What?
And I'm like, bruh,
Bruh.
you're gonna go out unanimously if
Like
you do
good.
that.
What an idiot.
I, he said he's gonna cause a ruckus, and he already like this first week felt like 6 years.
It did. I know.
Ugh. I kind of hope they show on Sunday the apparent
Travis
Travis
blow up of
thing.
Frenchie's game. Yeah,
I hope they show that because
I know.
all Travis did on Sunday was take his shirt off, talk about the bed stains, which was disgusting.
I know.
Like I was like, dude,
National television. Let's not.
yeah. But yeah, that's like the big things happening right now.
Cool.
Tiffany wants to maybe backdoor Brent.
Sure.
Um, she said I found a clip of it on Twitter. She like looked at the camera and started doing like because he's a flight attendant. She started doing like flight attendant movements, and she's like, "We're gonna get Brent out of here." I was like, "Yes, I'm obsessed with Tiffany. She's like one of my favorites in there."
Yeah, she's just
Um,
so natural to watch and naturally funny. I like her.
yeah. Yeah, that's like the big stuff. Like Sarah Beth winning,
Mm.
Brittany Frenchie on the block. Everyone's mad at Frenchie.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna, as soon as we're done recording, I'm gonna put them on.
Now I
see
want to
if,
too. I'm actually
and
very
see if
excited.
anything new is happening. Was there anything else? Oh, this is just a general complaint I have about anybody that's sitting on the block on eviction night.
Hmm.
I cannot stand when they stand up and thank 12 people
I know.
and plug a website. I'm calling out Alyssa.
Oh no. I know.
It's like I'm gonna thank every single person in my family. I'm gonna plug a website. Stop.
It's not the time for that. Like, yeah, I would love if we got away from that and we just focused on the game
Yeah.
in that moment. I mean, I don't know. It's not really the same because, like, who cares? But, like, when they're doing their votes and then they're like, hi, blah, 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 happy birthday, blah, 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 blah.
That's
Sure.
fine.
But if you're
I
pleading
don't
for your
really care.
life, like, don't drop your website.
Like even if they know it's a unanimous vote
Yeah.
or going to be, like if they know they're not going, what if there's 4 people on the fence?
Yeah.
Like what if more people besides the 2 rogue votes were like, you know what? I liked what Travis had to say. I'm gonna
I
put out
wonder how much that happens because I can't, like, really remember when those speeches mattered.
yeah, like no one really like
And it would be great if they did.
yeah.
The
I
only
mean,
time that they do is finale. Like finale, I really do think people change their minds based on those answers.
yeah. I don't know. It's just like yeah. Don't plug your stuff. Play the game you're there to play, and then I'm sure once you're out of there you can plug your social medias. 'Cause you'll get your
100%.
following.
Yeah, like just screaming it out right there is not gonna do much. So just focus. Focus.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
Bill, that was great. That was just literally
Fantastic.
friends talking about Big Brother. And who could ask for anything
Love that.
more? Big Brother bitches.
Big brother bitches. We're
Um,
here.
we're here. Get used to it. I love it. I think that my plan is to have a new friend on every week if I can. So we'll see what happens with that. Kind of going back, but I didn't mention this before. Like what I've been doing for years is back in high school, like for season 14, I had my friends and we came together every episode, Big Brother Bitches. We watched it. And then, like, where I go in life, like college, I had my Big Brother Bitches. We watched it. Then I went to a summer contract, did the same thing. And so now I want to do it with the interwebs and we make it one big brother.
That is what this fan base is. We are all bitches.
Yeah, and it's time we embrace it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
I had a great time.
I'm so glad. I am so glad that you were the first one on here. You are
Anything.
what's it
It,
called? A
I,
wealth of knowledge. You are
I
a whole
try.
a thing of knowledge.
I try to absorb all of it as it consumes every capacity of my being for 3 months.
Well, I am inspired by you and I'm literally going to put on the live feeds immediately after we finish up.
Me too. I need to see what's mess is happening there. What is Frenchie doing? That's what I need to know.
What
the
is
French is going on
what the
in there.
French, he's probably self-evicting. We'll see.
If he does, I will. If he does that, I wouldn't necessarily like be
Happy.
happy about it because I kind of want to see him like get the vote out. I want Julie to tell him he's been evicted. Like,
Me too.
I don't want to give him the satisfaction of not doing that.
Right, but he
I don't
seems
know.
like his pride is so big that he might do something like that. I'm surprised. Did Devin do that?
No,
Okay.
no, definitely got voted out.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
That's
Can't
Big
wait for
Brother.
Sunday. Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. That's Big Brother.
All right. Well, thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.